it's just Martine, and welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. It's Monday morning. It's gonna be a crazy start to the week because I was out of town this weekend, so I have to do my weekend tasks, like plus things, and I didn't work on Fridays. It's all over the place, but it's gonna be a productive and fun week, and we're also gonna get some fun reading done, so stick around. That's what's happening. Listen, hear me out. It's Tuesday night. Tonight, I finished 3-4. Better Lock Your Door by Willow Rose, which is the second Rebecca Frank mystery novel. I also gave this 2 stars. Here's the thing. The actual crimes in this book were very interesting. They made for interesting reading. The trope that was pulled out as the reveal, by far my least favorite possible mystery trope. My least favorite one. So that was not a good time, because it's not psychologically valid. I don't want to spoil it, but also none of you are ever going to read it, but it's like, the point is, when it was revealed, I was like, oh, so that's my whole review, and I'm 50% of the way into It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I'm probably gonna read more of that before I fall asleep tonight. But other than that, it's been kind of a slow reading week. That's okay, because this weekend is a reading weekend, and I had game night, which I showed you a clip of, which was super, super fun. I played all sorts of wacky games, and I won the last game we played, which is always a nice feeling to end on. That's on that. Sidebar, tropical storm headed here, maybe hurricane. We'll see. So this vlog could get spicy, but for right now, all's well that ends well. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Wednesday evening, and I just finished It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I am giving this 3 stars. It was a quick read. I don't know. I just felt like meh about it. Like, I was really glad to see the happy parts of it, but I'm not sure it had to be a whole book. I don't really know what to say. Like, I appreciate what this does. I understand why people wanted it. At the same time, I agree with the author when she said, like, she never intended to write this, because, like, I felt like the first book ended just fine. We didn't really need a whole other book. It's nice to see a little extra and see happier moments with these characters, but I don't know. I still had a good time, and I'm so glad I read it, but I just felt like it was maybe longer than it needed to be, and maybe not as well composed as the first book, or not as fleshed out. The point is, I read it, and I had a good time, and that's what matters. It's really rainy outside because there's a tropical storm, not here, but like around here. We still have class tomorrow and everything, like nothing's canceled. It's just damp out and a little windy. Perfect reading weather. I'm sleepy though, so that's it for tonight. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, actually, there was one thing that I really liked, and that's the fact that the title, It Starts With Us, where it came up in the book, was not where I thought it would come up. Like, it was not where I expected it to be, like what I expected it to be about. I appreciated that. Okay, good night. Good morning. It's Thursday morning, and the storm has passed, pretty much. It's nice outside now. I'm about to have class, but last night I did listen to the audiobook The Bear by Andrew... I forget his last name. Anyway, I gave it 2.5 stars. It's supposed to be a fable, but I feel like I didn't fully get it. I did like the vibes. I had trouble paying attention. I wasn't sure what the point was, etc., etc. Like, all these other reviews on Goodreads were like 5 stars, you know, a great look at like grief and loss. But I was like, this girl lost her dad, and now she hunts? I didn't get it. So anyway, off to class. Happy Friday. I'm uploading my Dark Angel Trilogy reading vlog, and I just wanted to show you what YouTube thought my thumbnail should look like. Yes, my computer screen is filthy. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this facial expression, and this facial expression, none of which are any good. I mean, they're golden, but they're not good. That's why I made my own thumbnail, which looks like this. Still a weird face, but on purpose this time. Okay, now that that video is uploaded, I'm here to give you a review of Absolute Brightness. The author's name is covered up. It's by James. Anyway, so Absolute Brightness is a YA contemporary book. I actually couldn't get quite a read on what year this is supposed to take place in, so it might not be as contemporary as I think. Regardless, it's like a modern YA story, and it's about this girl, and she discovers that she has a cousin, and the cousin comes and lives with her family, and the cousin is like very flamboyant, and he has lots of opinions, and then one day he goes missing, and that's the premise. That's what it says like on the back of the book. There are a couple things about this. One, the main character of this book was so mean. She was so mean. I'm not sure I liked her. That being said, you know, main characters don't have to be like morally perfect or anything, but I just genuinely like, I thought she was a little extreme in her views at some point. Regardless, I found Leonard, who's the boy who goes missing, to be a very interesting character. Some interesting things about this book: it's written by the co-founder of the Trevor Project, so I think that's really important in regards to what this story deals with. It also inspired an off-Broadway play called The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey. Leonard Pelkey is the one, the cousin. I'd be interested to read the play if I can get my hands on it, because I kind of feel like this story would fit a play better than it did a novel. It definitely fell into a chunk structure, as it were, but it wasn't separated into parts. So we would end a chapter and then we would jump forward, but with like no indication except what was actually happening in the story to tell us that we had moved significantly forward in time. No, like several months later or something like that. At least as long as I can recall, we didn't have any of those markers. We didn't have like part 1, part 2, part 3, even though I did feel like there were 3 different sections. There was a section where we got to know Leonard. I felt like there was a section when Leonard was missing, and then, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there was a third section. And especially that third section, there was like a drastic jump in time with like no indication of that. And I felt like a huge part of plot like taken right out. So I don't know, maybe it would fit like a 2-act structure in a play better than in a book. I really think it should have been split into parts. I never told you what I rated this, so I rated this a 3.5 because overall I appreciated what the story tried to do. It tried to say a lot of things about a lot of really sensitive topics, some of which I can't even tell you about because they'd be spoilers for what happens in the book. Obviously, you can look up content warnings. Some moral statements and some political statements were wrapped up in this. Anyway, it was just a lot. I don't feel as if it's too much for a young adult reader to read because this is a young adult book. On the other hand, it is just like a lot of things that it tries to deal with in the span of honestly not very long of a book, because even though it's a little over 300 pages, it reads really quick, and so it feels like shorter than 300 pages, and so it just tried to jam like a lot of stuff in there. And I think because it tried to do that, we lost some of what it could have been because parts weren't fleshed out. I had a good time with this, a really quick read. It took me a little while to get into, not because I wasn't interested in the story, but just because I was prioritizing other reads for a while there. I mean, I read the second half of this yesterday, so like it really was a quick read. And now I can return this to the library, which is great because I have so many books I need to get back to the library, which means I gotta read them. It's Friday afternoon, and I was originally intending to keep this going all weekend, but I'm doing a 24 and 48 hour readathon this weekend, and I figured I'd reviewed enough books in this vlog, so I'm just gonna end it here. If you'd like to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below, do you know any books or movies that were better in play format? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!